What's up, guys? Mo here from BetPicks, bringing you our picks for Week 5 of the NFL season. Last week we did really well. We had Atlanta covering the spread against Houston, and they killed them. We had Carolina covering the spread against who was it again? Tampa Bay, and they ended up winning by 14. And then we had Green Bay, who also won by 14, covering the 7-point spread against San Fran. Also last week I threw out an upset pick, was Washington to cover the spread as underdogs, and they actually ended up winning. And then the Jets playing in London, I had them beating Miami, and they killed them as well. So all went well last week, and let's hope to keep it up. So these are the games. The ones in red are the four I'm going to be talking about. So just a quick rundown of the other ones. Chicago and KC, I would stay away from this because Jay Cutler actually looked really good last week. And KC's kind of been up and down. Their defense has not really been what you'd expect. I mean, they're still rushing the passer pretty well, but I don't know. It's just really not the team that I thought they would be, so I would stay away from that one. Baltimore, I'm in on Baltimore. I would love to take them here. There's just not that much that they've shown me this season, but I do believe that with Roethlisberger going down, they can really make a push to finish second in the AFC North, because I really don't think they're catching Cincinnati, but they are a lot better than Cleveland, and they are at home, so I'd like them there. Jacksonville is one of my upset picks against Tampa. I do like them to cover the 3-point spread, but it is Jacksonville, so be wary about that. New Orleans and Philly, I think Philly's starting to turn it around. I know they lost last week at Washington, but I mean, Chip Kelly took some ownership of the mistakes this week, so maybe they turn it around. In New Orleans, although Drew Brees is capable of playing great at any point, they're still the Saints, and they're bad, man. Their defense is awful. I expect a big offensive week from Philly. Seattle at Cincy, this may be the game of the week. I do think that Seattle has a shot, but I don't love them on the road, and Cincinnati in the regular season is just tough. I mean, if this was a playoff game, I'm rolling Seattle, but in the regular season, it's a tough one. I actually like the under in this, so if you do want to play that game, that would be the play, in my opinion. St. Louis at Green Bay. Green Bay, they're the routine play. St. Louis does usually play up to their opponents, so the 8.5 seems a bit heavy for me, but I do think Green Bay handles them without too much of a problem. Arizona and Detroit. Arizona kind of came back down to earth last week, but Detroit still sucks, although they did shut down Seattle. But Arizona's offense is on a different planet than Seattle's, so although it is in a dome, so I don't worry too much about Arizona going to Detroit. I do like them in that one. San Francisco sucks. Kaepernick sucks. And the Giants' offense is starting to figure it out. I wish they would just get Victor Cruz back, but I do like them there. And then Pittsburgh, San Diego, it's tough with Mike Vick. Phillip Rivers has looked good, and he actually gets Antonio Gates back this week. So, although I would call myself a Pittsburgh fan, San Diego should win this one against Mike Vick. But he's dynamic, so who knows. But let's move on to the four games that I wanted to talk about. Buffalo, Tennessee. You see the odds in the upper corner. I do like the Bills on the road here. -1 money line, up to you. They're quite similar. -105, -115. Buffalo's 7-3 in their last 10 games, and Tennessee's actually 1-12 in their last 13 games. So yeah, they beat Tampa week 1. Mariota had a great day, but it's Tampa, and that was the only time that they've played well. Buffalo's 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 road games. And so, I mean, they're a defense and rushing team, so it travels. Tennessee's 2-12-1 against the spread in their last 15 home games, not just games. Buffalo comes second in the NFL in rushing. Tyrod Taylor's just so dynamic, you can't defend them in one way. And Tennessee's 28th rush defense at home, so I do like Buffalo here. I know that Carlos Williams and McCoy are out, but Boobie Dixon's actually a very, very solid back, and he loves to catch out of the backfield, which is really nice for Tyrod, who likes to roll. And if it wasn't for a couple bogus penalties last week, he would have had an even bigger week, so I do like him here against a subpar Tennessee team. Moving on, Washington and Atlanta. I like the Falcons. I was hoping to get maybe a -6 spread, just a -6.5, just in case it was a 1-touchdown game and Wouldn't get the push, but the spread is -7, but it is plus 100, so I really do like it. They're 5-1 straight up and 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. Washington, on the other hand, whose defenses look revitalized, but their offense is still Kirk Cousins, and I don't trust it, is 0-5 straight up and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 road games. And they are going to the hostile environment of the Georgia Dome, so it's always a tough place to play. Atlanta's 5-1 straight up and 4-2 against the spread against Washington in their last 6, so they do more or less have the number. And as advertised, Atlanta does come in with the 5th ranked offense in the NFL. Yes, Washington's defense has looked improved, but mostly against the run. They still struggle heavily against the pass. And even when it comes to Devontae Freeman, he's still catching passes out of the backfield. He's not strictly rushing. So I really do like Atlanta to have a similar game with a little less scoring than they did against Houston, but I can see them winning by 2 touchdowns. And moving on, Denver at Oakland. Oakland has caught the eye of a few people because they have that little trio going of Derek Carr, Latavius Murray, and Amari Cooper, who I like, but they're young and I think they need time. Denver, who's here, they're trying to win now. Their defense looks nuts. They're 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games in Oakland. So Denver loves to travel there. Peyton dominates there. And Oakland's actually only played one team that's above 500 this season. That was the Bengals. And they lost 33-13. So, I mean, although they've looked much improved, they are playing some pretty bad teams. This will be the first real test after Cincinnati, who thumped them. Denver, like I said before, their defense is nuts. They have the number 1 ranked defense, and Oakland brings in the 17th ranked offense. And defense travels, we know this, so I do expect Denver to cover the spread of 4.5 and potentially more. I can see this a 10-plus game. I can see something like 27-17. So I do really like the -4.5 spread they gave Denver at -110. And the last game is the 4 o'clock game, Patriots, Cowboys. I'm surprised that the spread was only 9 because the Patriots have just been on some different tear, and Dallas, not at the fault of theirs, has been destroyed by injuries. No Romo, no Dez, no Scandrick, no Lee. It's all advertised how much they've been struggling. They lost to the Saints. It's just been ugly. New England's 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. Dallas is 2-4 against the spread in their last 6. If you follow Dallas, you know that they're a lot better on the road than they're at home. They're at home this week. And New England's still good everywhere. So 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 road games. Dallas is 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 home games. New England brings in the number 1 ranked offense by a long shot. They're putting up 40 a game, 450 yards. It's just craziness. And Dallas comes in with a middle of the pack defense around 14th. So I really like New England. They just put another thumping down. Brandon Weeden's been okay, but he's not going to get into a shootout with Tom Brady. And the only way you keep up with them right now is you get in a shootout. He has not even thrown a pick this year. Tom Brady is just rolling. I love him in this one. So yeah, if you want to get exposure to this game, I would go -9 on the Patriots at -105. I wouldn't touch the over/under just because I really don't know how much Tom Brady is going to put up. If they want to keep the score running, he could put up another 40, and all it's going to take is a touchdown and a field goal from Dallas to get over that. So I mean, if you are going to play it, go over, but I'd be wary with it just because you never know when they decide to let up. Another thing too is the Patriots are coming off a bye, and Bill Belichick with time to prepare against this offense. I don't know. I can't see Dallas doing much at all. So I really do like the Patriots. But that about wraps it up. Until next week, hopefully we can do just as well this week. We went perfect last week. Let's see if we can keep it up. And yeah, so like I said, until next week, good luck and let's win together.